in Conversation. I'm your host, Kate Demure.
And I am Davisha. Welcome.
Welcome. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Marvelous Monday. We got our lovely bell here that we like to ring when something marvelous happens.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Bells are our friends.
Yes, they are.
So tonight we are serving up Merlot, 12.5%. Lovely dark red wine. What does it pair with?
It's paired with, I think you can pair that with a good steak. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Good info, good info.
Yes.
So how was your weekend?
My weekend was great. It was very busy, very, very busy. Lots of stuff going on at the house, so very busy.
I didn't do much. I just relaxed and that's it.
That's wonderful.
Same, just relax, watch movies.
You didn't have to work?
I didn't have any repairs this weekend.
I'm surprised.
Good.
What about you?
I turned up.
You turned
Oh,
up.
where'd
Tell
you
us what that
go? Ring
is.
the bell. Ring the bell.
Oh man, I just said that because I thought it would be funny to say.
Oh,
But I
no.
did turn up as a little kid. My niece had her birthday party, so we went and swam with them and had a good time. And then my baby cousin had a birthday party, so we did kind of go turn up and went to the club with them.
Okay.
All right.
That's
We did have a
that's
good
good.
time.
Wanna
That's
give them a
awesome.
shout out?
That's awesome.
Oh, happy birthday, Shayla, and happy birthday, Lacey.
Awesome.
All
Awesome.
right,
Awesome.
birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
That's awesome.
Are you doing this too?
No.
No? Did anyone else?
Oh, no.
No.
It's not written down.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about relationships. We do want to say that sometimes relationships, they end amicably, mutually, and while others, some flame out spectacularly. Breakups from a bad, toxic, or draining relationship are just harder. The loss of a close relationship, it can feel somewhat like an emotional amputation. What do you think?
Yes, sometimes. I mean,
Somewhat?
relationships, you know.
I can't explain that.
You want to explain that? Okay,
wanna
we'll let you
explain
give a little bit more on that in just a second.
Yeah, so you know, at times you may feel sad, you may feel alone, angry, rejected, or betrayed, but the good news is it doesn't last forever. It doesn't. And brighter days, they do lay ahead. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back and we'll discuss how to rebuild after a bad relationship.
All right.
Alonzo Miles here, along with William Smith. Who wants to go first?
So you guys go ahead. If you guys will go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell everyone a little bit about yourselves, that would be great.
Okay, my name is William Smith. I am a computer technologist. I do home repairs and small businesses as well. My number is 317-657-6877. If you have any computer needs, feel free to contact me, and I'll take care of them for you. Thank you.
That's what's up. That's how you drop yourself.
Gotcha.
That's how you
got a
drop
free commercial
yourself.
in here. Oh, Will. Okay.
Well, I'm not Will Smith. I'm gonna make sure I get your autograph later. Okay? My name's Alonzo Miles, but on my book it calls me AJ Miles. For the last about 10 years, I played basketball. I traveled the world with AN1. And God blessed me with a message, and I got, probably last fall, I got a chance to write my first book. It's called Love or Fear, What's Your Motivation? It's right here. And it's been doing really well. I'm a mentor, life coach. I write for a blog, That Old Life. Shout out to Ocean Airs. And I do train kids playing basketball. A couple of my kids, they are playing. Jordan is playing for Cathedral tonight, so for the city championship. So that's about it. I'm
Okay.
gonna plug myself, just my book.
Okay. All right. All right. Hey, y'all know how to drop yourself. That's what's up. You got to know how to do that. Drop
See that
yourself
book
immediately.
again?
Let's show everybody that book. That's
Can we get a
nice.
zoom in on this? Nice cover.
That is a nice book. So tell us a little bit about the book. What is it?
Yeah.
What is it about?
My mother and my father are very, very devout Christians, and they both have a doctorate in theology. So we talk about spirituality all the time. And they told me that God's greatest gift was free will. So if God's greatest gift is free will, how often are we really utilizing free will? How many choices do we make throughout the day? Right? And we try to live in this gray zone. We try not to make choices. We try to flow through life. But the reality is the choices you make right now are manifesting into something later. So this moment between us didn't just happen last week when you hit me or you inboxed me on Facebook. It didn't just happen that way. It happened a year ago when you decided I wanted to do a show, when I decided I wanted to do a book, and all those seeds was planted, and now it's growing. See, the thing is, in that moment, we came here through love. We followed our hearts, and we got here by that thing. So I started realizing that free will is two major influences to it, and it's love or fear. And if you learn how to identify each, it will help you make better choices in life, whether it's relationships, whether it's your passion, what you're here to be. I think the back of the book says one day you get tired of being who you are and you decide to become who you're meant to be. So I think that's the whole thing. I think my purpose, and I just actually stole this from a friend of mine that I had, shout out to the Dope Network, but my purpose is to help people find their purpose. So I think that's always necessary in society.
Oh, yes it is. Yes it is. That's awesome. That is awesome and amazing. I like that. I'll be reading that book. Yes, love or fear. Know it. All right, we're going to dive right into talking about how to rebuild, refocus after a breakup, a bad one or a good one. Because, I mean, there's choices after that you need to make. So,
Absolutely.
yes.
So I would say do something healthy. Do something healthy.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to start off taking care of yourself. You know, getting back to the person that you were before you were bashed or, whatever happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you guys say how to rebuild or refocus after you break up with someone moving forward? How do you do that?
I think the first thing someone needs to do is do them. And that means, just getting out, start getting out more, start, going out, doing the things that you did prior to your relationship that you probably should have been doing during the relationship and never stop, because you should keep your own life and even in a relationship you should always keep your own life and your own identity. But a lot of times that's what people lose, and then that's why when they go through a breakup they end up having a crisis, or they don't know what to do with themselves or where they're at in life, and they feel like the world is coming to an end and it's hopeless. So I would say the first thing is just start doing you. And a lot of people don't understand what that means, and it just means to get out and just start living life as if you never were in a relationship, and you're just doing you, having fun, enjoying life.
Okay. Alonzo, what would you say to that?
I kind of agree. I think what you should do after a bad breakup or a good breakup or whatever is the same thing you should have did before the breakup, because we just talked about manifesting thoughts and reality. I think we need to understand that we are essentially attracted to our reflection, and the energy we put out, we attract to it. So the first thing is have to take some accountability. You might think that person done you wrong, they lied to me, they ain't this, blah, 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 but you chose that person.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What was it about you that chose that person and said it'd be okay? Mm-hmm. And if you figure that out, then you can fix you. And then once you fix you and love yourself the right way, I think we teach people to love in comparison, and we give people unnecessary expectations. You teach yourself to love yourself the right way, you will attract the right type of love to you. So I think that's what you should do before you get in a relationship, even after a bad relationship. Gain some wisdom. Every person's not that person that you was dating. So the next person you go to, don't be like, well, they did this. Well, how did you feel in that moment? Because you kept allowing it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And we got to take some accountability. And once you realize the accountability in the situation, find yourself and then move forward and let the laws of the universe take place.
Okay. I hear both of y'all saying find yourself, but some people don't know how to do that. What would you tell people to do or advise them to do? Because a lot of people don't know what you mean when you say find yourself. They don't know how to go out and do that. So what would you say do?
I would say buy my book. No, I'm just playing. The best way to look at it, understand that the Bible says we're born into sin. Mm-hmm. Therefore, we are born into fear. So everything this world is teaching you is a lie, right? They tell us love is blind, love hurts, all these other things. Love couldn't be blind. Love couldn't hurt. They want us to fear it. My first quote in my book is, love is brave and it flies in the face of fear. Wherever you want to go, love will take you there. Fear is not a factor when it comes to love. The problem is that we fear love. We have to get out this mind state of fearing the thing that's good for us. We have to be in the place of vulnerability. We have to stop protecting so much, and we have to be able to trust. When people say they got trust issues, they don't trust themselves. So we have to be able to trust ourselves and take a leap of faith to find yourself. God gives us all one talent, but we have to connect with Him. And that's the thing. We got to learn how to connect. And in connecting, I guess that's what I kind of explain in my book, but that's the connection to God to love, to finding yourself. Right now, you're swimming through a bunch of sin and lies and fear and everything, and it's hard to find yourself. You find yourself and you connect with that. You connect with that light, and that light that God, like, and I'm gonna let him speak. In the darkness, if we all in here in the dark, right?
Right.
How do we find the light? The light's in you. So God lights it, illuminates our path, and then we follow as far as the path can go, like we're in a car. When I'm in a car and I'm scared, if I'm driving up through the mountains, I can see 10 feet in front of me. Why am I worried about everything else as long as I can see 10 feet in front of me? And sometimes we get focused on the future and get caught up and lost. So
Okay. Good info.
And actually,
That's
too,
excellent.
kind of elaborate on what he just said, because it just came to my mind, is that is the good point, is that we kind of worry about the future, but really to find yourself, you have to live in right now. And a lot of times when you go through a breakup, you have a tendency to think about the past as well as the future. When I go through breakups, I like to always think, well, in 6 months from now, this will all be over. And that's with any bad situation in life. So, you know, I think basically finding yourself, like I said, it just gets back to just getting back to who you are. And a lot of times it just takes you know, a whole lot of it takes a lot of fortitude to do that, because a lot of people want to stay shut in and they want to call people and what everybody does when they go through a breakup. But for the most part, the best way to get over anything is just to get out and start living life. I mean, you have to live in the moment. You can't live in the past and you can't live in the future. You really have to live for now, because that's really all you have.
Yep, that's true. That's true. That's true. All right. Okay, that's good information, guys. Good info. That's good for people, because there's a lot of people out here hurting and they don't know how to go through it, and that's what we're here to talk about today: how to get through it and how to keep going.
So what do you say about the, and this may not be just females, I just know that we do this, those that punish themselves. We kind of wallow in that, what did I do wrong type thing.
Right.
And we stay there for a good long time.
Like, okay, well, like, I end up doing, I wouldn't say counseling, but I end up talking to a lot of people in my line of work, and sometimes I talk to people who are going through breakups. The thing that I always have a tendency to see with most women is they have a tendency to focus on the man instead of themselves. So I'm always telling somebody, okay, what do you think? How do you feel? What do you want? Because it's usually, well, he did this, or he said this about me, or he doesn't want me to do this. Always, reflection on the other person, and I think it's for both sexes. But, what I hear a lot is, a lot of what the other person, the man in the situation, or the other party in the situation did, or is doing, or what they thinking, or what they said. And then I'm like, well, what, my main question is always, well, what makes you happy? What would make you happy right now, other than getting back with him, because evidently that's not going to happen, or it's not a good situation for you, or you realize that it wasn't, it was detrimental. So my thing is, what makes you happy? What is going to make you happy? Because that's what you need to focus on.
Right. What you got, Alonzo?
Step out your comfort zone. And I say that to say this. You see that pain is comfortable for you. I punish myself. That pain is comfortable for me. So I would tell people, stay out your comfort zone, live in that moment. And what I mean by that is, don't run from the pain. On the other side of that pain, I'm an athlete. They tell us how many times we run the lines, it hurts. On the other side of that pain is victory. The longer you avoid that pain, the more you suppress it, and it comes out later on in life. This is going to hurt right now. Kind of like a pregnancy.
Right.
You're in labor. This is going to hurt right now.
Exactly.
But on the other side of that pain, you have the love of your life. You have this kid. You have this child. So don't avoid the pain. Don't run from it. Don't suppress it. Live in it. It hurts. And it's supposed to, because you're human. So don't try to avoid it. Don't try to run from it. Live in that pain. Don't go to where you're comfortable. When things happen, what do? We go to our comfort zone. I'm going to eat myself out of it. I'm going to drink myself out of it. Why? Because I'm comfortable right there. I know how that pain feels. I know how this evil feels. So it's time to literally avoid the comfort zone and live within the pain, and then go through it. Kobe said something, and he said when they won the Orlando Finals, he said they asked him if he hit the wall, and he said, so what if I did? And they was like, what do you mean, so what? He was like, if I hit the wall, I'm running straight through it. That's how you have to view pain.
Exactly.
Because when you hit the wall as an athlete, your body, you like, my body, I can't do nothing. Run straight through it, because that's all it really is. You gotta face that. Can't be fearful of it.
Okay. Good information. That's great information. I think that is great. And what we're going to do right now is take a break, and we're going to come back and talk more about how to rebuild or refocus about after a breakup. So.
Conversation. We're here with Kate Demure.
And I'm Davisha. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Bing.
Thanks for having us here.
Can you help me out, Alonzo? Because she ain't gonna do the bill.
Yes.
Bam.
Thank you again, Alonzo and William, for being here. We're getting ready to dive right back into how to rebuild after a breakup.
Relationship.
Bad one or a good one.
So we want to talk about overanalyzing a relationship. Why do humans do that? You want to kind of overanalyze the breakup of it.
Yeah, because you want to know what you did. You know, you want to go back and think about what you did wrong. You want to think about all the things the little red flags that you missed. You want to think about all the things that you caught that you didn't caught, because now that time has caught up with you and you're not in the moment. You're not living the moment. You're in the moment. So now it's like you have time to reflect. So that's when the overanalyzing comes in. But that's when, like I said, you're supposed to start doing you, so you don't do that, because it's not productive. You're not really going to get anything out of it. I mean, you're going to learn over time just from, thinking about your mistakes in general, but the main thing is to not sit there and wallow in the mistakes or the red flags, or was she the one that he was talking to, or whatever it was. You don't want to.
Don't stare at me when you say that.
It's counterproductive. You just want to get out. You just want to get out and start living life again, and you'll learn from your mistakes if you have any wisdom.
Right. All right. Alonzo, what you got?
Keywords wisdom.
Yeah. It's in the book.
It might be in the book.
I think
I Bob Marley says
This book
that.
got everything about love and fear right in this book.
What's your motivation? You can find it on what? Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And creative
Get it?
space. I'll say this. I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and we was talking about a situation that she was going through. And she was like, he invited me to this place, and blah, 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 and it didn't work out, and he told me not to come. And I said, we as humans have the tendency to have a 300-piece puzzle and only have 50 pieces and try to figure out the other 250 instead of accepting what we see.
Exactly.
We're at this point because somewhere in our relationship it was a miscommunication, right? Try to understand that, get wise from it, but you have to let that person be themselves. Jay-Z says, if you love it, you should leave it. If it comes back, you know it's there to stay, right? You have to allow people to be in their own journey. So when you overanalyze things, and the key word is over. It's good to analyze things. That's reflection. But when you overanalyze it, you looking at things that you are only creating in your head. Oh, she did this one day. Did that mean this? What?
Right.
It's all a reflection of your biggest fears. So you will see like, oh, I remember one day she was in there texting. She's probably texting that dude. That's your biggest fear because that's a reflection of what you're seeing. So when you overanalyze things, you put you're deflecting. You put your personality and perspective and what you would do in that situation to something they did. So you only got 50 pieces of the puzzle and you're trying to fix it, and it's a 300-piece puzzle. The reality is, just face it, I only got 50 pieces. Let me fix these 50 pieces, which is you, and then a puzzle will come to I'll fit in for the rest of my life.
Okay. That's good information, but you know what, women, as
I just made that up.
I mean,
It's not in the book.
It's heartfelt. That's in part 2.
yes, I'm gonna say for women, we do overanalyze a lot. I mean, it could be just simple as the grocery list. Well, wait a minute, maybe he do like ground beef, but maybe he likes this. Okay, or maybe he likes this, or okay, maybe he did say this. I can't remember. Well, what if he meant this? Okay, we going here. Let's do this. We will overanalyze some stuff, and guess what? They'll ask us, I mean, the simplest question, we see this all the time, what do you want to eat? What you want to eat will be a hour conversation back and forth. I don't care. It's going to start off, I don't care. But as soon as you say you want to go to McDonald's, I'm not eating that. But we didn't already started overanalyzing it. So I mean, yes, we do have to get away from overanalyzing because it's so simple to do it.
It's a reach for control.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yep,
The
yep.
thing is control's an illusion.
Yep. It is. It definitely is.
If you ever feel you in control, then watch how God works. Tomorrow it can snow, anything can happen.
Exactly.
I can leave here and hit something. It don't matter. We're never in control. So you control what you can control.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
You control what? Your
Whatever
choice. Learn how to identify and influence that.
Yep. Yep. That's true. That's true. Yes. Yes.
Said something settling in.
I mean, I hope some people's taking advice from this and taking notes.
Oh,
Because,
okay.
I mean, this is good information. This is good information.
Because somebody said,
Yeah. So we're going to have to put this on YouTube because people need
Yeah.
to know about this show.
they really do.
Really, really do.
I'm
So,
going to repost that a couple times. Yes.
let's see, the amputation of the relationship. Let's talk about the amputation of it. Because it's like almost cutting off a limb for some people. I mean, their minds get so, their minds will go, some people's minds I've seen, what a lot of people do, especially nowadays, you know, if they are in a relationship for a year or 2 years, I mean, it's like they feel like it's over. Their whole life is over. It's done with. And it's not over. You know, and it's just like, I can't keep going. I don't want to go forward. I don't want to be around these people. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So, talk about the amputation.
Well, I have a theory with that, and I heard it somewhere in a song that what the person said was, "If you leave me, I ain't gonna die." So, that's the mentality I think one should have. But yes, I mean breakups are hard because, and this is my theory, a breakup is when you go through a heartache. I believe personally that when you put something before God, that's His way of punishing you. Because if you think about it, there's no remedy for a heartbreak. You have to actually wait it out. It takes 6, 3, whatever it is for most people, about 90 days that you're gonna have a change in appetite, a change in sleeping, and a change in mood swings. And I mean, nobody can explain where it comes from. There's no medicine you can take. I mean, you can self-medicate, but that's with anything. But I mean, the average person is gonna experience some of those things. And I think that it's just something that you have to go through. So I mean, it is somewhat of an amputation. It's an emotional amputation because you have put something in your life that was before God, and He's gonna kind of chastise you for that. So I think it is somewhat of an amputation. It's He's pulling something from your life that you thought it was meant for you or you wanted, and you put before Him. So
Right.
I think that a part of that, the biggest part of that you're going to have to deal with is that time that everybody has to go through during a breakup.
Okay. Great answer. Great answer.
Pain.
You feeling pain from that?
Amputation. I'll say this. Do the same thing you do before you get into a relationship. And I say it like this. If what we're not doing is being 100% full, right? So I see you and all your insecurities and everything as a guy. I'm giving the game. I'm sorry, I'm Steve Harveying it up right now. So all your insecurities, everything as a girl, I see you're empty somewhere. So you're 70, 65%, and I see it. What do I do as a man? I feel that, right? But God's already given you everything I need. But energy transference is what? Energy can never be created nor destroyed, just transfer from one object to the next. Right? So if I know I can feel you with that 30%, if I take it away, you feel like you lost a part of you. Because you actually felt whole for a second. The thing we don't know is we're supposed to be whole going into it. So now we're also feeling and feeding each other. So now it's a continuance of conversations, a continuous flow. The energy's high, so now you're listening, I'm talking, you talk, I listen. That's how it goes. The thing is we go into these situations because society has told us we need to be in relationships at this time, and this time, and we're not full. We have no idea who we are. We have no identity. We don't know who we are. So we go into it with insecurities, and then we say, you complete me, Jerry Maguire, right? The thing is, I don't necessarily think I'm here to complete you. You're supposed to be complete before you come here.
That's right. Yep.
And the thing is, we're supposed to create oneness. And that oneness is created when you connect with God and you connect with everything else. So that connection in itself, we're going into situations and it feels like a limb is being cut off because a limb is being cut off because we didn't realize we had it ourselves. Well, we're going into it thinking we don't have an arm, and they come and they are our arm, and then they take their arm away. But the whole time my arm's been here.
Right.
God's given me an arm. Learn how to use it, and we're not doing that. We need to start tapping to ourselves and finding ourselves. And once we fill ourselves up, everything else in the relationship comes easy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, what would you say also about the
I don't know if that's in the book either.
that might be in the book. That might not be in the book.
Just making stuff up on the fly.
I mean, what would y'all say about like the mental part of it? It becomes, I mean, you see a lot of people just so devastated from a breakup, and it's like, what's the problem? Why are you so broken? They're so broken, and it's all up here. It's all in their mind.
Yeah, that's it. It's in your mind.
Right.
And you have to have a strong mind, especially sometimes because there are people who have been known to have nervous breakdowns from breakups. The best thing you can do, and I wouldn't say, along with doing you, is you need to talk to somebody. I mean, you definitely want somebody to talk to. Not everybody, because everybody doesn't want to hear it, but a good friend that is willing to listen, you know, whatever time of day it is, and, you know, to your thoughts and what you're going through, and give you a little bit of strength. I mean, some people go through things on their own, and that's good too, but it's always healthy to talk to somebody. Sometimes we think it's a sign of weakness to not speak about things like this, but in actuality, sometimes trying to look too strong is a sign of weakness. So I would say the mental part of it mainly is to get those thoughts off. One, by talking about it, and then two, by keeping yourself occupied, which is doing you.
Good answer, because I think once you talk about it, it starts a healing process for you.
Out of sight, out of mind. I think I always say our mind is our biggest asset and our worst liability at the same time. You know? The mind is so powerful, we don't recognize it. We see so many images and everything out there. It's hard for us not to rest our thoughts, and that's what you have to do: rest your thoughts and be at peace. The difficult part in that is learning how to get there, because the mental part of it is so insane that it's almost impossible. And I would advise people to do this: don't place yourself in situations where you can't handle it emotionally. Like, if I broke up with my girl or my lady, right? I'm not going to remain her friend on Facebook. I'm not going to remain her friend. We're not going to be cool. I need time to let me know that this is a situation for us. You know, let me grow back to me. And then once that time comes, then maybe we could be cool again. But right now, you might need to separate yourself from social media, because all it do is find yourself stalking people. Oh, what's she doing today?
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. What's he doing today? And you find yourself, and then you looking like, why am I stalking him? But you just start getting curious. Your mind starts taking over. And about, I can easily wrap it up. Control your mind. Don't let it control you.
Right.
Because your mind's going to go everywhere.
Yes, that's true. And I'm glad you just brought that up, because this month is National Stalking Awareness Month. And,
Not me.
Is it really that
yes,
month?
it is. Yes, it is.
That's
really
yes, it is.
okay. That's a serious
I follow all
thing.
domestic violence things
Yeah.
that go on. Next month is Teen Domestic Violence Awareness. But anyway, this month is Stalking Awareness, and people need to know what that is, because I don't think people know if somebody calls you 50 million times, that's considered stalking.
It's stalking.
I mean, you can catch a case for that. So, I mean, hitting somebody up on Facebook all day and night, that's stalking. Sitting outside somebody's house, everybody knows that's definitely stalking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, you're right, because you will. Facebook will have you, all social medias will have you in a whole whirlwind. And then you got your friends that you're going to listen to and be like, oh, Lord, they said this, I got to do this, I got to do that. The mind will take you somewhere you would never thought you would go.
Your mind will give you exactly what you're asking for.
Exactly. It
If
sure will.
if like when you tell women not to go through a man's phone, right? You're like, well, you're going to find something, and you're going to connect it to something. It goes back to those 300 pieces. You're going to find something. Oh, he said I'd have heard. He must be blah, 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 and it can easily be his cousin. And you don't know, but in your mind, you've created that. So your mind going to create this reality, and it's going to hunt you. You don't want to do that.
Right.
You just want to be at peace.
And I think that's where a lot of,
it's inside of yourself.
Yep. Yep.
That you really want to nip in the bud, because
Your
stalking
mind will give you
is a horrible thing.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think everybody's different, because I want you to follow me on Facebook. I'm going to give you something to look at. Yes, I will.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
oh,
well,
yes.
you
You
tell a lot on
will
Facebook.
tell the story.
I'll tell
Okay,
you the
yes.
story. I will turning up with the fattest body.
That's not how you get over a breakup,
Wow,
William.
that's
That's
how
not
you
good
do it.
advice.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't
Don't.
do that.
Try to get.
Okay.
Say
Don't,
you're not
don't
gonna
cover
do
those
it. Say, I'm not
emotions.
gonna
I
do it.
see you
I'm
getting
just
choked
joking.
up over
I'm just
there.
kidding.
That's
I'm
all
just joking. I
right.
would never do
Just
anything like
I
that.
Stop
don't
it.
believe
But
you.
I don't think I don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to delete me. I mean, we can watch each other. I mean, you know, I want to see you grow. I
it's
want to
not
see
healthy.
you be happy.
It's
That's
really
not healthy.
I mean, especially if y'all came out of a bad breakup. Because
Right.
social media is not going to do anything but hurt a person's mind really mentally
Yeah.
because you really don't know what that person's going through, especially if you're not talking to them. You could be dealing with a weak-minded person and really didn't know that through the whole relationship, and that weak mind can take them, I mean, they can almost, some people can go and try to commit suicide over a breakup.
It
It
happens.
happens.
Commit suicide
If you
over a
find
lot of
yourself
Yeah, they do.
in there, please get some help.
Right.
If you find yourself calling somebody 5 times a day, checking them out on Facebook, showing up at their mutual spots, calling all night, screaming "I love you" off the highway, you need some help.
Right.
Jesus.
Right.
You need someone.
Yeah.
You might need a couch to go sit on, but that's serious, and you really don't want to.
We need to start doing you.
Right. Just need
Go
to
into
start
all
getting
of
out
that.
and started learning yourself. I'll say learning and loving yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you are not loving yourself first, when it comes down to that, I say that all the time. When you gotta, and you can't, you want to love someone,
Yeah.
but you want the love back. It's just not. It's not there when you don't love yourself. You can't just be oh, I love him, but you ain't even loving yourself first. Or I love her, and you're not loving yourself first. You're not taking care of yourself. It just creates a whole big problem. So
I want to stick a pin in that.
Okay.
Real quick. I say, hey, do you, as William say, but be a little selfish. It's all good. We'll be back.
atmosphere and conversation will be right back.
Bam! All right, welcome back, Atmosphere and Conversation. Kate Demure here.
I'm Davisha. What's up, guys?
And we're here with Alonzo. Oh, do your bell. Do your bell. Bam!
We're on the
My
bell.
mailman and William.
All right.
Alonzo
Will Smith.
Williams.
Call him by his
Will-
name.
Oh,
Will
Mr.
Smith.
Smith.
Hey man, what's going on with Jada, man? I mean, not Jada. Jaden. Why is he in the women's line of?
What's going on?
He said for $10 million, you do it too.
Nah, we're not. I'm not wearing dresses and stuff. Y'all know he's a.
Yeah, I still see
He's
that.
a model for the women's line of Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, I saw that. He had hair
Does
bows
that
and
mean
everything
mom
on.
gets free shoes or what?
That would be. The
I
deal
mean, because I would want the
do,
free
yeah.
shoes for life.
For free shoes for life. I mean,
Yeah.
because them shoes, I mean, you talking about $25,000 or something in purses
It's
and all
not
that crap.
ridiculous.
Yeah, something outrageous.
So what's going on with your kids?
Okay.
You can like, don't talk about my kids now.
I'll talk about my kid. No, but guys, welcome back. We are here and we are getting ready to talk more about rebuilding after a breakup. We're getting a little personal with it.
William, can you share an experience that you had of a bad relationship and then, how you moved on from that?
Wow, I've had a few bad
Just one.
relationships. Okay, just one? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk about a short one. It was really after the honeymoon. I guess you would say the honeymoon portion
Is
of
this
it.
the most tumultuous one?
That is.
The worst one
That's
that
a
you
nice
did?
word.
Tumultuous?
Yeah, this was actually. Yeah, it was
Oh, okay, this is the one.
So yeah, it was it was literally after the honeymoon period. It really went south, and it was, the honeymoon period is considered the first 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, it really went south, and it was about a year and a half long, where it was really a lot of mistrust, a lot of tit for tat, and a lot of just a lot of unnecessary drama. And
Was that on both ends? Or
oh yeah,
just-
I mean it was on both ends. I mean to a degree. I mean I was it's probably 15 years ago, so I was a lot younger. So I didn't probably actually really one of my first relationships, and I didn't start my relationships until later in life, till I'm 30.
It's because you're a winner.
Yes, exactly. I was focused. I was actually at the time I was actually in college at the time, so I just started. I came out of the military and I was starting college, and I was dating someone, and it was someone who was a lot older. And it was more of a, it was more, I was kind of like a play thing. You know how when older people, sometimes they date younger people, it's like kind of a fun thing. So it was a lot of games being played, to a degree. It was depending on the person's mentality. So this person liked to play a lot of head games and do a lot of unnecessary things. And it caused a lot of unnecessary drama. And, I mean, it ended kind of, crappy. I was in a hotel. That was another time. I was in a nightclub, and the individual happened to have been there with someone else, and I didn't realize that I was in the club and everybody was acting really weird, so I couldn't understand why. I just could see like a lot of looks, and they were actually with someone else. So I walked in, and this person kind of got up and went and danced with someone else. So it was very interesting, looking back on it, and I ended up actually trying to run them over, but the grace of God, I didn't. So what's that?
How come you didn't run them over?
Because they were in the car.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah,
God had your back.
yeah. So I just hit their car with my car.
That was pretty normal.
So you're saying that you were going to run them over because of what reason? Were you angry or you just?
How did
It's
that
just
make
like
you
one
feel
of the
at
things
that
that kind of
time?
spikes your mind.
It is, like when you go through something, when that you snap. You know what I mean? You like
Okay, one of them snaps.
Snaps?
Okay.
Well, I was
What?
trying to scare him.
What went through your head? And I'm sorry to cut you off, but when you say snap, what clicked? What snapped your twig to just say, I'm going to do this?
It might have been in the parking lot watching him get in her girlfriend's car and then get into her, like they pull around to a different part of the parking lot and then they get in her car and I'm watching it all from the other end of the parking lot. So it was one of those things where I was like, oh, okay, so y'all trying to be slick. So, okay, I got something for y'all. So
you're analyzing the situation.
Yeah, so when they got on the road,
the anger is building.
It wasn't so much anger. It was like, okay, we want to play games. We're going to play games. So we played bumper cars for a little while.
So let me ask you this. You said you were sitting there watching. If you already knew this situation was arising, why didn't you just leave? Because at this point, you're putting yourself in danger.
Because I was a lot younger.
Ready.
Now I wouldn't care.
You're saying you were
now,
young.
I
That's the
wouldn't-
excuse
I
you
was
use.
probably like 28 at the time.
That is an excuse, pretty much.
28? Yeah, 28.
I mean,
you
you're
realize
my
that.
grown
first
enough to
relationship.
know
I'm being
what's
frank.
right
I'm being
and
honest
what's
with y'all.
wrong.
I'm being
I
totally
know.
candid with y'all. So I mean,
Well, we appreciate that.
I
I'm
mean,
just
I
asking
could lie and be
questions
like I
about
was,
you.
the better man, and but that's what I did.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
I reacted how I felt at the time, and and that's what I did.
You wouldn't consider yourself a scorned man now, would you?
Everybody's been hurt. I mean, I'm gonna sit here and act like I've never been through anything. That would be so, that would be so fictitious. That I've never been hurt. I've never been through. Now that's how you learn. That's how you become wise. That's how you learn how to see the red flags. That's how you learn not to put yourself in these positions with certain people, where you just learn to walk away from things instead of dealing with them to the point to where you do a crazy act like that. And that comes with age. Everybody does certain things, especially in their 20s and when you're young like that.
30s. Some people do it in their 40s or 50s, but
I don't blame you.
I think that right there, what she's saying, do you consider yourself a scorned person in relationships and at the breakups? People label you
How did
as a
that
certain
go
thing.
about? Like when you went into your next relationship, I mean,
My next
what was
relationship was
your-
actually it was actually great. It was great.
Okay.
It actually was really the best relationship. It was actually the best relationship that I had. After that next relationship was the next best relationship.
Okay.
And it was like we were best friends. We did a lot of together, traveled. We did a lot of things. So it was really, it was totally opposite, in retrospect. And she actually was at the end of that previous relationship. That the friendship started at the end, but we were just friends. And then it kind of, after that situation dissolved, then me and this person kind of picked up, and it was actually great.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Like we were saying, I think people get labeled as certain things, we see a lot of people, like she was trying to say, scorn men or scorn women. They're hurt. It's not so much that they're scorned. They're just hurt and they went through something. Would you take that as, did you take that as a lesson at that point in your life once you got out of that?
And did you
Definitely.
release it and learn?
Definitely.
And
I mean,
move on?
definitely. I mean, you know, I would totally handle it totally different now. You know what I mean? Like literally, I would, you know, I would handle it totally different. I mean, I would probably just went on about my way and started entertaining a young lady. You know what I mean? I just went home and just went, you know, and just left the situation
Right.
alone. But
Right.
you know, when you're in a position when you're going back and forth with people, eventually what's going to happen is the person's going to try to outdo you. And
Yep.
what happened
Yep.
was this situation where because this wasn't the first situation, and it's even in a form of club
It becomes a
format.
competition.
It was
Right.
kind of became a thing where it was tit for tat, but it got okay. Let me outdo you. Let me, you know, okay. This time I'm going to do this, and it ended up, you know, it ends up expanding and
Yeah.
exploding. Sometimes, thank God, it didn't really get too bad. I mean,
Right.
Bumper cars ain't bad at all.
No.
Yeah,
I
bumper
mean,
car.
no,
That's
bumper
one
car's
hell
not
of a
that bad.
flame
It's not
there.
that bad.
I can't do that.
not that bad.
I would say I don't blame society for you, okay? Because as
Don't
men,
you
we don't
do
know
that,
we don't know how to express any type of emotions. We're taught as kids, you get hurt, you chalk it up, or somebody hits you, you hit them back. So men don't really deal with internal pain. We can't forgive as easily as women because number one, we're men. We have two totally different views on life. So for him to be in that situation, we only know respect, right? So if I feel like you're disrespecting me, then somebody got to get knocked out in that process, and I'm not going to hit you, so he got to get the worst of it. So now we're playing bumper cars because we don't know how to. We got misplaced emotions as men because society taught us that we're supposed to suppress everything.
Do you need a hug, William? I
might
see you
need a hug.
getting a little choked up.
No,
over there.
no. I mean,
Are you feeling okay?
it was. I actually was laughing the whole time. To be honest, I mean, I could hear the dude because she called me and the dudes, and you know, he was screaming, "Take me home, get my pistol." And I was just ramming the back of the car, you know, boom, 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 boom. So I was laughing, you know.
Jesus
But
Christ.
at the same time, I was, you know, I was really just, what I was doing was expressing myself in a very immature manner.
It happens. It happens.
And
do
this is
that.
what we talking about. I mean, right? We get into we talking about right now.
Yes,
Today,
I
no, you know, today I would do like I said, we totally different.
just walk away.
The thing is, well, I think a lot of people don't realize is that everyone has done something, but we always want to fault what people are doing right now. I mean, that's a lot what people do on social media with people, celebrities, and everything. They want to fault what they done did, but guess what? You probably done done it, but you ain't gonna say that.
Right.
Everybody's made mistakes, and it's okay. You move on from them.
See, the thing is about growing emotionally and spiritually, right? Cells only do two major functions. They grow or they protect. If you break cells down to our human emotions, it's love and fear. You can only do one at one time. So if you get up and you grow up and they saying, women ain't this, men ain't this, get your own, blah, blah, blah. We're not growing emotionally because we're constantly protecting. So when you find yourself confronted with these emotional moments, we act as in a child manner. I act out, I hit, I bang my car against her car. But these things happen because we're not growing emotionally. So we're growing physically. I'm 20 certain years old, or we're not, but I'm still emotionally 3 because I've suppressed everything. And I'm not saying that's you.
How old are you, 15 now?
Yeah. But if we're not emotionally or spiritually growing,
Right.
18.
what are we
Right.
doing? And that's why we find ourselves at 60, 50, whatever, finally connecting with that our age because we finally learn how to put our minds at peace. The problem is, as children, we're not teaching our kids the right way. We're not teaching the things that need to be taught. What's the lead singer for the Beatles?
John Lennon?
No.
John Lennon.
Lennon.
Yeah.
John Lennon said a teacher asked him what he wanted to be when he was older. He said happy.
Imagine.
And he said, the teacher
Yes.
said, I don't think you understand the question. He said, no, I don't think you understand the question. We make kids say you need to be a lawyer or this or this. We put titles and jobs over their happiness their whole life. If you teach a child how to be happy, how to be in love, how to love themselves and all that, the job will come because God gives us all one gift. So he'll find it if they're living in their passion. So as a man, we are taught to protect everything emotionally to us, just like women are taught to protect everything physically to y'all.
Right.
Okay. So,
Okay.
do you have an experience you want to share about?
I mean, I of course the book has to work with me because I probably have one of the worst tempers of all time. But not with women. I kind of was pretty calm with women and kids, but I did have one situation, and I can be transparent with that. And I'll say this: after I kind of knew from the very beginning that the situation wasn't going to work, how we met. If the foundation's built on a rocky ground, then you know if you're making excuses for why you should do it, you're kind of like you already know this is stupid,
It's
right?
wrong.
So I continued the situation, and when it ended, I was kind of mad. It was actually the first time I was in Alaska. I flown back home. I hurt my back hooping, and when I got home, I go straight to the hospital. My mother tells me my little brother has cancer. This is like 6 or 7 years ago. So I'm like, oh man. Then I leave there and go to a funeral. My cousin's uncle had passed. So we go to the funeral, and I'm like, what? Then I go to where I thought we lived. It was her house, and she's not there. And then I get a text like, it ain't working. And I'm like, you're in Houston? It was just weird. So I just get all my stuff and leave. And I'm the type of person who disappears. I don't really deal with you. I don't want to call you. And that's what I did. I turned my phone off for 2 weeks. But the thing in it is I needed that situation because that's where the idea for the book came from. I started meeting with a lot of men, and then we had like a men's group, and they started telling me to read books, read Celestine Prophecy, The Alchemist, all these other books, and then in the Path to Love by Deepak Chopra, and all these things I'm reading, and I'm finding myself in this process. So when I look back on the situation, did I make it linger too long? Possibly. Did I know it was probably wrong at the beginning? Yeah, but it was very necessary because without those moments, I wouldn't be the man I am today.
Exactly.
You gotta go and attack the pain, and that's what. So I don't really like. We're cool now, actually. So I don't think we have any beef or anything. It's just that she wasn't the one for me, and that's not wrong.
Right.
How many times we'd be like, "Oh, you're not the one for me," and blah blah blah.
Right.
That's not a bad thing. I found mine, and I'm okay with my life, and I'm happy, and the woman I'm dating now is that person for me. So
Right.
I'm happy the way things panned out. She was just practice, like Drake said.
Exactly. Man, I love them quotes you got. You got them down packed. That's what's
Bell
up.
for the
The bell.
So, what about everyone? We all have, I'm sure, at some point has had a bad relationship. What are your takeaways from it, William?
From a bad relationship.
Yeah. Give your advice.
Yeah,
My
your
advice
takeaways
from a
from
bad
it. What did you learn
relationship?
from bumper cars?
Is basically what I said. You should never stop doing you. You know, that was a problem. Excuse me, with that situation. I stopped doing me. I stopped hanging around certain people. I stopped going to places I used to go. It became to the point where I was just over there every day. I didn't have my own life outside of the situation. So when tit for tat came, that was the focus. Instead of like, you know what, I'm going to go out or I'm going to go do whatever, the things that I normally do. You get caught up in a relationship and then, because you're engulfed completely and emotionally, you end up playing this game back and forth with somebody and wasting a lot of time and energy. And I just would never do that again. It's like, as soon as my first inkling of games, infidelity, lying, I'm like, I'm okay. So.
Okay. Good information. What you got, Alonzo?
People might not agree with this.
That's okay.
Never compromise. We're taught to compromise going into relationships. We're taught to compromise in relationships. Compromise, if you look at the definition of compromise, every definition of compromise is a negative thing. Our position's been compromised. I wouldn't compromise my integrity. But we're supposed to compromise in relationships because we're so desperate to make things fit. We're forcing pieces. The reality is, in this vast universe, in this vast world, everything around here, it's somebody for you. You have to be patient. God's not going to give you a gift when you're not ready. But the thing is we force it and we go into compromise. Actually, it's a chapter in my book called Compromise versus Sacrifice. And I'll leave it there. Compromise is out of fear. You do what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, if I compromise, I want you to do something for me later. I'm compromising because it's tit for tat. All right? I scratch my back, you scratch yours. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. So if you compromise and say, hey, I don't want to go to this game later, You be like, I'm gonna go. Then when you be like, can you want to go wine tasting? And I'm like, no, I want to go chill with my boys. You're mad. Compromise is the beginning of resentment. So when I seen that, I started realizing what's not in the sacrifice. You don't ask for anything. If anybody has kids up here, you just want your kid to be the best human being they could possibly be. You don't come at them at 18 years and say, you owe me this, and this, and this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all about sacrifice. And then the number one thing is about, I got a degree in theology, so when I read the Bible, I didn't read anything where compromise was a good thing, but I did read this. For God gave his only begotten Son was the greatest love of all time. So did he sacrifice for our sins or did he compromise for our sins? Because he didn't ask for anything back. When you sacrifice, I actually want to see the best person out of you.
Exactly.
So when you get in a relationship and you decide to sacrifice something, it's nothing that I want back. It's not a compromise. So do not compromise yourself, because that's what you end up doing. You find somebody, they on Instagram, you see them, you're like, oh my God, they fine. They do something that you don't agree with, right? And it's just not you, but you're like, oh, well, I could do that. And you find yourself doing it more and more and more and more. Now you have lost yourself and you're living totally in a purpose. So at the end of the day, I say no compromise. Learn how to sacrifice and find yourself.
Exactly. That's good information. I would just tell people to, stick to what you believe in. If you have values, morals, if you're going into a relationship, make sure you have some type of conversation. That needs to be something happening on a daily basis. You can't think that this is just going to work. If, like he said, if there's things that you already see, if you see the red flags, it's a no-go. It's a no-go. So don't just sit there and think that it's going to get better. He's going to change. She's going to change. You can't change a person. So you can only change yourself, I believe. So just love yourself, take care of yourself, and be well with it. So that's what I got.
Piggyback off that. That's good information. Always think of yourself first. It sounds bad, but you can't take care of a family, a husband, no one. You can't even advise anyone if you're not helping yourself first to be that outlet for everyone else. I'm sorry, it sounds selfish, but hey, that's just me. Take your time. Don't rush thinking, oh, I'm finding the perfect mate, or this business deal looks good because the money, the finances are flowing right. There's a price for everything. Take your time, find the right one.
Okay.
That's right. So we're gonna roll into birthdays really quick, and let's all have a toast really quick for the birthday people.
Happy birthday, Dee!
I didn't get it.
Oh, here you go.
Wait,
No?
one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So does everyone have something?
I got water.
We got water.
We've
And
got
y'all
something.
I'm good.
Merlot.
So
Okay.
we just want to say happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
this week to Katrina Roberts. We want to say happy birthday to Jeremy Graves. Oh, excuse me.
And we want to say happy
And we
birthday
wanna
to
say-
Judy.
To Judy E. Lewis, Andre Vaughn, and Melissa Rodriguez.
Happy birthday. Enjoy
Happy
yourself. Go out and do
birthday.
something you want to
Do something fun. Buy yourself a
Yep.
car. Don't
Yes.
listen to me. No.
Whatever you want to do, if that's your goal,
That's
go
what I
out and
would
do
want.
it. It's your birthday. It's your day. So this is Atmosphere and Conversation, and we will see you back here next Monday, 8 o'clock.
All right.
Have a great week, guys.